7 ways to stop calcium-blocking arteries. One of the most potent indicators of the risk of a heart attack is the presence of calcium in the arteries. The accumulation of calcium results in the hardening and loss of elasticity of arteries, which in turn triggers atherosclerosis and blockages blood flow. Cardiovascular disease and an elevated risk of heart attack or stroke are the consequences of this injury, which initiates at approximately age 40 and affects approximately 90% of men and 60% of women by the age of 70. It is crucial to act promptly in light of the contemporary lifestyle, which is characterized by high tension and toxic foods. Today, we will examine 7 strategies for reducing calcium levels in your arteries. These strategies include the consumption of specific foods that can have a significant impact, the implementation of straightforward routines that require less than a minute, and the establishment of guidelines to assist in maintaining a consistent regimen. Number 7. Refrain from or restrict alcohol consumption. Alcohol disrupts the body's ability to metabolize nutrients such as calcium. It reduces the liver's capacity to regulate minerals and filter contaminants, resulting in elevated blood calcium levels. Subsequently, the walls of arteries may accumulate an excessive amount of calcium. The 2018 ERA-GUMP study conducted by the University of Pittsburgh provided groundbreaking evidence regarding the detrimental effects of alcohol. The researchers employed electron beam computed tomography, a scan that produces detailed images of internal organs, to quantify calcium deposits. The scans demonstrated that individuals who consumed more than 3 drinks per day, who were classified as heavy drinkers, were more than twice as likely to have alarmingly high levels of artery calcification. Therefore, it is crucial to exercise moderation when consuming alcohol. Women are permitted to consume 1 drink per day, while males are permitted to consume 2. Studies have demonstrated that abstaining from alcohol for at least 1 day per week, and potentially for a month or 2, can result in substantial recuperation. Additionally, it is important to bear in mind that not all intoxicating beverages are created equal. The high sugar content of cocktails, sweet wines, and specific ales, in conjunction with the liver-damaging effects of alcohol, can be particularly detrimental. Number 6. Obtain consistent sunlight. Vitamin D is an essential nutrient for the prevention of calcium accumulation in the arteries. And from what source does it originate? Yes, that is the large object in the sky. Vitamin D synergistically functions with another essential nutrient, which we will address in the following section, to efficiently remove calcium from your arteries and transport it to the areas of your body where it is most required. Small quantities of vitamin D can be obtained from oily fish, such as mackerel, sardines, and salmon, as well as trace amounts in eggs, tomatoes, peppers, cucumbers, alfalfa sprouts, algae, and mushrooms that are in direct sunlight. Nevertheless, the most potent form, vitamin D3 sulfate, is derived directly from the sun. Vitamin D3 sulfate is water-soluble, which facilitates its transportation through the bloodstream. Additionally, researchers have identified an additional remarkable advantage of vitamin D3 sulfate derived from the sun. It enhances the exclusion zone waters that safeguard your cells. That is correct, each cell in your body is surrounded by a protective barrier, akin to water-filled bubble wrap. This frictionless surface enables your cells to operate more efficiently, while simultaneously repelling harmful substances such as heavy metals and chemicals. This buffer aids in the prevention of artery injury commonly associated with atherosclerosis and heart disease. To optimize the synthesis of vitamin D3 sulfate, it is recommended that you engage in consistent, moderate sun exposure on large areas of your body, including your chest and back. Number 5. Vitamin D may be diminished in the absence of vitamin K. Vitamin K and vitamin D exhibit an uncommon synergy. Initially, calcium absorption in the intestines is enhanced by vitamin D. Afterward, vitamin K facilitates the transportation of calcium to the regions of the body where it is required, including the bones and teeth. Therefore, it is of paramount importance. However, approximately 30% of American adults are deficient, as indicated by the renowned PREVEN study. This is the reason why vitamin K is increasingly being recognized as one of the most critical nutrients in the prevention of cardiac disease. Currently, there are 2 forms of vitamin K, K1 and K2. The most effective approach is to concentrate on primary sources of K2, as the body is capable of converting K1 to K2. However, this process is not particularly efficient. Natto is one of the most abundant sources of K2. Natto is a traditional Japanese cuisine that is prepared from fermented soybeans. It is a food that is beneficial for the health of your heart and bones, despite its strong flavor and sticky texture. While not everyone enjoys it, it is a wonderful choice. Sauerkraut or fermented cabbage is an additional excellent alternative. And those who appreciate cheese, you are in luck. The sluggish fermentation process that hard and aged cheeses undergo results in the production of high levels of vitamin K2. That includes aged cheddar, Jarlsberg, Emmental, Gouda, and Agam. If feasible, Opt for cheeses that are traditionally produced rather than mass-produced, as the delayed aging process provides a distinct advantage. Meats, particularly organ meats such as liver, are exceptionally rich in K2, while other cuts of poultry, pork, and beef contain moderate amounts. Number 4. Blood pressure and critical nutrients. Arterial calcification is directly influenced by hypertension. In reality, it is a destructive cycle, as research has demonstrated that hypertension not only accelerates vascular calcification, but also exacerbates it once it has occurred. Consider it analogous to the formation of crusts within your pipelines by minerals. Subsequently, the pressure injures the walls of your arteries, rendering them even more susceptible to calcium accumulation, and the cycle continues. Any action you can take to maintain a healthy blood pressure will be beneficial. It may be the most straightforward action that an individual can take to maintain blood volume and keep their arteries flexible: consuming an abundance of water. Number 3. New nicotine. Coronary and peripheral artery damage are the two primary forms of artery damage that require our attention. Peripheral artery disease (PAD) affects the arteries in your limbs and legs, whereas coronary artery calcification affects the heart. PAD can result in severe blood blockages that can travel to the lungs, resulting in a potentially fatal pulmonary embolism. How does this transpire? While each of the factors we have examined plays a role, the injury is exacerbated by prolonged periods of sitting. Every hour, stand up and stretch if you are employed at a workstation. Consider utilizing a sit-stand desk and taking a stroll during lunch. On flights, it is advisable to occasionally stand up and move and to refrain from crossing your legs. Number 2. Ensure that you are consuming an adequate amount of magnesium. Did you know that an astonishing 57% of individuals in the United States are deficient in magnesium? This is one of the most severe nutrient deficiencies, and it is even more prevalent among older adults. Muscle cramps and spasms are prevalent symptoms that underscore the intriguing manner in which magnesium and calcium behave as opposing forces. Consequently, nerve cells are overstimulated and muscle twitches occur when an excessive amount of calcium enters them due to insufficient magnesium levels. Calcium may accumulate in undesirable locations when magnesium levels are inadequate. In reality, magnesium is essential for the regulation of mood and muscle function, as well as the establishment of bone structure and the regulation of cardiac rhythm and over 300 biochemical reactions in the body. It is not an area in which you wish to be deficient. Number 1. Abstain from smoking. The most detrimental action you can take to your health, particularly in terms of your arteries, is to smoke. Each blast injures your blood vessels, rendering them more susceptible to calcium accumulation and stiffening. We are all aware of the statistics, so there is no need for us to provide any additional information. The body is remarkably resilient and can initiate recuperation at a rapid pace when an individual ceases smoking. Do you like it? Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell icon for more interesting and informative videos.